less than 5 years to stop them, or we'll never have another chance. They come right out and they tell us exactly what they're going to do. It's a one world government, one world cashless currency, one world central bank, one world military, social credit scores that the government can use to turn off your bank account. Vietnam just deleted 86 million bank accounts of people who refused to get their digital ID. They just deleted them. Wonder where that money went. If you're not paying attention, you probably don't know that England is putting people in prison for social media posts like memes and fucking comments. This is the trajectory that we're headed. Dude just got put in federal prison in England for saying that he didn't want his tax dollars prioritizing illegal immigrants instead of being used for the betterment of his own countrymen. Listen, if you don't start standing up and saying something like I am, this will be the end of national sovereignty. It will be the end of privately owned property. They're literally telling people in other countries that if you don't accept digital IDs, you're going to be excluded from society. That's what they're telling them. That means they won't allow you to board a train, to get on a plane, to go to work. They won't allow you to do the things that you would normally do if you don't accept their digital ID. I'm telling you that they won't allow you to pay your fucking mortgage without providing them a digital ID number. They'll take away your home for non-compliance. They'll disallow or remove your children from school. This isn't a joke. This is what's happening right now. We have less than 5 years to do something about it. If you don't recognize how serious this is, you're not paying attention. This is what they're doing. They won't allow you to register your cars. They'll turn you away from medical care. And they'll do all this while they're telling you that you're not being forced to do anything. It's your choice, right? Like it was your choice 5 years ago with the jab. Remember that? This is how they institute the new normal. This is how they end the family unit. This is how they force mandatory schmaxinations. This is how they introduce universal basic income. This is how they introduce microchipping, a global credit system. This is what they want. This is what they're building right now. And they're coming right out and they're telling you thousands of 5G towers, the end of private transportation, the end of private farms, businesses run by the government, travel restrictions, restricted land use. You think this is far-fetched? Take a look around and wake the fuck up. They already tested it in 2020 with the lockdowns, restrictions, fear campaigns, government-run media, and most people complied without a second thought. That was the dress rehearsal. That was the warm-up round. 2030 is their final act. But here's the thing. It was all supposed to go down in 2015, but they missed their deadline, so they pushed it back to 2020, and they missed that too. And what does that tell you? See, it tells me that we're much more fierce of an opponent than they ever realized. They didn't account for level-headed, logical thinking, like-minded brothers like us to dig our heels in and say, fuck you, but it's not good enough. And their efforts will only get more aggressive, more pronounced, and more relentlessly egregious towards dissenters. And here's the truth. If we don't fight back now, if we don't raise our voices, if we don't refuse to comply, if we don't build strength and unity in our own communities, then when the curtain drops, it's over. We won't get another chance. This is bigger than politics. This is about freedom. This is about sovereignty. This is about whether your kid and your grandkids get to live free or as digital slaves in a system that is designed to own.
Shalom, shalom, first and foremost. I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Kakodash, WNC elders, and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salute to Akim, pushing his words in sincerity and truth. This lesson here, firstly, sending out the disclaimer, this is not for medical misinformation or anything to, go against the guidelines of YouTube or whatnot, but as I heard the video just now, right, the things being mentioned, and that is the plan of the elite. When they look at the WHO 2030 vision, all those things that he mentioned, that is basically on their agenda, right? Because that is why you're hearing frequently now about the digital ID. You're hearing frequently about that digital ID system that they're mentioning and they want to unfold on the people in order for you to access your pension, and all these things, everything is going to be centralized, because that prophecy at the MOTB is right around the corner. It is right around the corner, because the scriptures say, and the Second Thessalonians. Second Thessalonians 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that they shall not come except there be a falling away and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. And that is it, what is going to reveal. I mean, yeah, the prophets have already revealed this man, Esau, Edom, the rulers of the world, the so-called white man, directly the banking families, the DuPonts, the Bilderberger, the Rothschild, the Rockefellers, these men, behind the scene controlling all the international, the global, financial, educational, medical, all these affairs, they in control of and in charge of, right? The men already exposing them, but more or less is that when these times come and these moves are being made, the world is gonna made to see, and it's gonna reveal who the wicked is, because it already had begun, whereby the Lord has the prophets uplifting this man's skirt and this man's plan and this man's agenda. That is why you're heavily gonna need Yahweh Shai to survive. So just imagine Jacob could hardly survive in a system like this with cash, which is a little more flexible, far more for those times, with all these digital IDs and your digital ID and everything going digital and centralized and monitored. How would Jake survive? That is when they're gonna have, is basically setting up strings upon Jake. Right now they're already governing Jake, but when they implement that system, that is when now they're gonna fully be able to fully control Jacob. With the plan, because these things already in the making, as you mentioned. That pandemic was just basically is like a rehearsal, is like a test run. But they already setting into laws. Like why you're seeing, the digital ID system, the mentions and whatnot. Isaiah 10:1, woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. Because this year is a part of the trap, the net they're setting for the people through the legislations, putting in something into law. That is basically it. To turn aside the needy from judgment, to turn away the right from the poor, my people. Because I said, stripping you of your rights, stripping you of your flexibilities and how you're able to rule and govern your livelihood. With that system coming now, they're gonna surely take full control of you and what you are able and capable to do. Right? Yeah. So everything is basically rolling according to prophecy. And it mentioned, in the scriptures about he coming to perform his enterprise. The scriptures say the devil coming down with great wrath because he knew he had but a short time. So the scriptures already mention these things is gonna happen, right? And the prophets here, able to pinpoint and break down and give you the understanding of what's gonna happen in those times. So Ezekiel 12, right? Because they're gonna shock to see how quickly these things unfold. Ezekiel 12:23. What's that 22? Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land, saying the days are prolonged and every vision faileth? Because our people have this thing about, we I hearing that thing coming out so long, and my great grandmother used to tell me all that, and she done long gone, and a lot of them putting on the prophecy that I could done die and go, and my children, will come here and them still mightn't see it. But hey, the prophet seen it. We seen it. Yeah, we seen it, in the making. Right? Because that's the thing, the bread and circus right now, FIFA, everybody locked in while moves is being made. Right? I think some country that was shutting down people account for not accepting the digital ID system, because they're gonna have penalties for all those who think that they wanna, not fall in line, not comply. They're gonna have penalties, just like how the transition in the bill, the dollar, from the cut notes and whatnot. What went on is that you wasn't able to purchase, to buy or sell, when they did that transitioning. So that's why they're setting up the whole system to basically conform to such thing. Right? Get up, Papa, get up, come. So it says, but say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision faileth. Right? For there shall no more be any vain vision, nor flattering divination. As going into, is like, whereby these things will never happen. It's basically we see in the build up of it from one step to the next until, it right at your doorstep, because we know that digital ID is a major stepping stone into the MOTB. I was looking on, upon some guy, Jake, that took the implantable C-hip in New York, and he was mentioning that, that is gonna be the future, and everyone is gonna have to more or less conform to that, right? Because this is what the rulers of the world want, and they would get what they want because they controlling everything. Everyone has to be on board with their agendas, but we ultimately know that Yahweh Bashem Yeshua is gonna disappoint them up, when they reach up to a certain point in executing the master plan. Right? But hey, we still, have to be prepared spiritually and whatnot for the time ahead. We ought to, ground ourselves under our power, Yahweh Bashem Yeshua, because it's gonna be needed in that time, because the scripture talk about all those who wouldn't worship, they would be all killed. Right? And this is something that you had a holy integrity. Revelation 13 and 14, and deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of his miracles, which he had done to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image of the beast, which had a wound and did by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, stop that, and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So all who don't want to come down and be a part of the system, hey, they're gonna put you in concentration camps, and they're gonna, eventually put you to death. It's like, let's see how long you're gonna try to hold back for. When they place you into them jail houses, right, to break you, so that you would obey and give obedience unto them. It's coming, and the prophets here warning you. Isaiah 62. Right? The Lord set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which will not hold their peace day nor night. Right? These are the things that happening, you know, and hey, we ought to open our eyes to it, because these things are soon to come. So hey, just a quick one. Hopefully this was edifying. All praises be to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Shem Kakadash. Till the next, you know. Double and say, the apostles are great millstones. Salutations.